An enormous well done this week goes to so many of you for participating in the Christmas Eve services and making them such a memorable event. We had approximately 4,000 people in attendance across the 5 services. We're immensely grateful to each of our volunteers and staff for the many hours of hard work and preparation put into these services, especially those who participated in the live nativities at the 11 a.m. morning service and 4 p.m. afternoon service. I do, however, need to apologise to one of our seniors who was involved in an unsavoury incident at the 11 p.m. watch night service. He inadvisedly came through the sanctuary door at the same time as our musicians and was bumped by a cello player and poked by a violin. A clarinet and French horn were also involved. Even though, as a staff, we apologised, the man claims it was an orchestrated attack. And moving on to new members, at the end of this month, we are hosting a new member weekend on Friday evening, January 31, and Saturday morning, February 1. Our new member weekends are designed for individuals and families who are prayerfully considering joining the congregation and seeking to grow in their faith. Childcare is available for children aged 5 and under. Please contact Linda Schultes at lschultes@firstpresgreenville.org for further information. Registration is now open at firstpresgreenville.org/events. On Friday, February 7th at 6 p.m, we are privileged to host the Tim Tebow Foundation's Night to Shine, an evening centred on God's love and honouring and celebrating those with special abilities within our community. This event requires many volunteers and is a wonderful way to connect and serve others. If you are free and can volunteer, please register at firstpresgreenville.org/events. If you need further information, contact Tina Jones at tjones@firstpresgreenville.org. Now, this week my co-host Michelle Ward is reporting on the one-act viable play and is talking to John Hoover, who wrote and directs the play. Michelle, welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Richard, and happy Friday, everybody. We are so glad to be back with you all after that short holiday pause, and we sure hope your new year is off to a great start so far. I am here today with John Hoover. John is the writer and producer of a play called Viable, The Truth of Christ's Love in One Act, coming up here at First Presbyterian Church in just a few weeks. Welcome, John. I am so glad to have you with us today.
Well, I'm glad to be here, Michelle.
Wonderful. Well, John, tell us a little bit about this play, Viable, and just really a little bit about how the story came to be.
All right. The play Viable actually premiered at this church in 2019. So the play is about a woman who has suffered for 30 years from post-abortion stress syndrome. That's what the American Psychological Association labels it in their DSM-5. She felt such shame for what she had done, as we know that more than 85% of post-abortive women do, that she didn't share it with her friends, that she didn't share it with her family, that she didn't share it with her church for fear of being shamed by and criticized by pious parishioners, as we say in the play.
Right.
So she suffers from that self-condemnation in silence, which affects her interactions and relationships with her husband, her family, everyone in her world.
Of course.
And only when she encounters the redeeming love, redemptive love, grace and mercy of Jesus Christ in a very unexpected and unusual way, as people who have seen and will see the play will fully understand, does she feel forgiven and set free for what she's done, because Jesus took all of her sins, including her abortion, to the cross.
Goodness, that does sound, that's incredibly healing. No one should have to keep a secret like that. And John, you and I both know God doesn't leave us to figure anything out on our own, and especially not those most difficult circumstances. Wow. Well, so tell me then, who should see this play?
This play is very appropriate for anyone who believes in the sanctity of life, because it will help them understand and be aware, number one, of the suffering that takes place after abortion, and how then to comfort and bring a Christ experience to anyone they encounter in their family or just anyone they encounter anywhere who has had an abortion experience in their life and they experienced losing a child in the womb.
That's right. Comfort over condemnation, which is Jesus' way every time.
I might put that in the play. That was such a great phrase.
That was just put on me while we're sitting here talking about
See
it.
how God works?
God does. God dictated that for
brilliant.
sure. Well, and I understand too that one of the really neat things that you guys are going to be doing with the proceeds is donating that to Lifeline Child Services. So tell me what that organization does.
I'll bring it right home to First Presbyterian, for example. They're a child services organization, not-for-profit.
Okay.
And how they impact us right here at First Presbyterian Greenville is through Tina Jones, who deals with adoption. And that's a major activity for Lifeline Children's Services. Is adoption support, adoption education, and of course support and assistance with all the different legal and social dimensions of adoption, which is an alternative to abortion.
Of course.
So Tina Jones is very familiar with and works with Lifeline, and that brings it right here to our church. The other one is Worthy. The program that Amy Murray has headed up and continues to head up, and is part of all this is, of course, part of Don Feuerbach's congregational care ministry. Amy's mentoring deals with women who have encountered an unexpected pregnancy, and helps them to deal with that. It deals with women who are post-abortive and need mentoring to know how to deal with it. But also women who are making an abortion decision with the unplanned pregnancy. So it deals with losing children in the womb from several dimensions. And that, of course, is a program that's going on right now in this church. There have been a number of women who have gone through the Worthy program and received mentorship from women in this congregation
who were also adopted. Instead
absolutely. And that's where Amy is very powerful and knowledgeable, learned voice, is that she was adopted.
That's right.
She was not aborted.
That's right.
So her mother made that decision, and that's a decision we hope everyone will make who is considering abortion.
Absolutely. Well, and hopefully if there is someone who's listening to this that has experienced or is considering or has, just even been surrounded by, that maybe this would be just an encouraging way to hopefully bring some long-awaited healing. Again, you all, Viable will be here on Friday, January the 24th at 7 p.m. in the church, and tickets are available online. And again, those ticket proceeds are going to go to Lifeline Child Services. But you can get your tickets or share the link with someone at firstpresgreenville.org/events. And we just really hope that you will share this news with somebody that's maybe, again, experienced heartbreaking effects of what goes on with this. So, John, thank you again.
You're welcome. And could I also add real quickly as we go out the door that we have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for women's pregnancy centers and resource centers around America. So it's very powerful, and it has a broad reach, and the people who come and attend, even with the Worthy program and the adoption program, will be better informed and know more about how they can minister to people who are facing the adoption issue.
Wow. Okay. The power of theater arts, too.
Absolutely.
Don't discount that.
Oh, yes. There will be tears. We're probably going to distribute Kleenex as people come in.
Well, hopefully that will produce some change and healing. Like we said, healing is the goal here. So,
that is
and forgiveness and mercy.
Where this play leads people. It has opened the door to healing for many, many women across the country.
Wonderful.
That would not have gone there otherwise.
Absolutely. Well, this is great. Well, thank you so much, John.
You're welcome. Thank you, Michelle.
Just by way of a quick reminder, the Viable Play is Friday evening, January 24th, and tickets are now on sale at firstpresgreenville.org/events. As we move on to Focus on Sunday, please give a warm welcome to our new class of elders and deacons who will be ordained and installed at the 11 a.m. service. This is always a special occasion, as becoming an officer requires a significant step of faith for those involved. Please assure them of your prayers as they step into positions of leadership in the life of our congregation. Also on Sunday morning, we will begin a new series of studies entitled Flourishing, Healthy Then, Healthy Now. Over the next few months, we will be exploring the New Testament book of Acts, which shows God on the move in an unprecedented manner. And since God was on the move in such a dynamic way in the book of Acts, transforming, renewing and equipping people to live out their faith in a multicultural, multi-generational context, we will be asking, could he do the same thing again today? A bookmark to accompany this series will be handed out on Sunday morning. Please make it a priority to join us as we seek to learn what it means to live out our faith in a 21st century downtown context. As we move into this weekend, please make sure you have enough bread and milk as low temperatures, snow and ice are forecast. If the weather impacts services scheduled for Sunday, we will let you know on Saturday evening through the church website, social media and WIFF4. Meanwhile, I trust you have a great weekend and I look forward to welcoming you on Sunday morning.